let's get into the regional breakdown as we take a look at the ranked teams. We start off with the aforementioned 6A squads. Number 22, Cibolo Steel Knights out of District 29, 6A. Head coach David Sines has turned that into a team that we expect to be a contender out of the 2-1-0 every single year, especially this one. So off to a 5-1 start. That one loss coming, like you mentioned, to Westlake earlier in the year. We wondered if this was going to be the time that they finally were able to get them. I think they got a little bit unlucky in the fact that Westlake was coming off of their first home loss in forever to Atascocita, that it turned into a little bit of a let some steam off game by Westlake. I really think that played a little bit of a factor in it.
That's why this game had so much hype around it, because we were like, is this the year that Westlake is kind of down?
Yep.
You know, but no, we realized that it's not.
No.
Westlake is Westlaking.
The difference in that game to me was that the lines just couldn't compete. It was different levels of physicality going up against a Tony Salazar coach defensive line that was just putting pressure on the quarterback, Chad Warner. They were able to neutralize the threats on the outside really well, which obviously is just a bevy of D1 athletes from Jalen Cooper, Royal Capel. The rushing attack by running back Jonathan Hatton has been incredible, but it was the offensive line got outpowered and faced a level of pressure from that Westlake defensive line that they just straight up have not seen.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But, you know, we'll see. They're still an incredible team and likely, and the reason we asked Mary about that, likely going to meet up with one of those teams again, whether that be a Westlake, whether that be a Lake Travis. Interested to see how they fare in okay, here's what we know we need to work on. Let's move forward with it. Then, out of District 28 6A, it is the 24th ranked San Antonio Brennan Bears. They are off to a 4-1 start. Sole loss coming from week 1 against Reagan. Reagan, a good squad. Yeah. But that loss not aging as well as I think that they would hope that it would, but they've really picked it up since then, beating Smithson Valley, Sotomayor, Harlan, and O'Connor. 2 of those. They're actually 3-0 in district play, so that's one of those 9-team districts. So they've already got 3 district games under their belt. Only 1 non-district game. That one coming out of San Antonio
school.
Yeah, exactly. But junior running back Makai Thompson has been the key cog in this. He's averaging 123 yards on the ground and complements a defense that's only given up 11.6 points per game. So this defense has been great. My main concern with Brennan moving forward, all due respect to the teams that they have played, the only one that I felt like held any sort of competition maybe from the offensive level was Reagan.
And Smithson Valley is not what it has
or from
been
a defensive perspective. Let me say I flipped that. When when San Antonio Brennan has gone up against a team that has a good defense, their offense got neutralized very quickly. And so my question moving forward, I think that their defense is there. I think they've got a very good defense, but can their offense going up against a defense that's going to apply pressure be able to kind of get those fits out of the way? That'll be my question moving forward with them.
I like it.
Thank you. That is all my yapping for now. I've still got a lot left in me.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've got it's only 12:37. We usually go into about So 5A Division 1 we go. It's the number 8 ranked San Antonio Piper Warriors. Okay. Perfect. I didn't write that down, but I remembered that off of memory. So this is a program that had its first year of varsity ball in 2021, and it only took them 2 years to acquire a winning record. They went 12-2 last season, losing to Liberty Hill in the 5A Division 2 regional finals. Of course, they moved up a division this year because of realignment, and now competing in 5A Division 1, and are off to a 5-0 start this season. They have 9 returning starters on offense, led by wide receiver Isaiah. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but it looks like Champagne. So
it is.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Champagne? Is that how you pronounce it?
That's how I've always pronounced it.
Because it doesn't have the M in it. It's like Champagne. Maybe Champagne.
I think it's
like
Champaign.
I like
No,
that
I'm 99% positive it's Champaign, but you questioning it made me question it.
Yeah. But dude's explosive.
Oh, he's awesome.
I really, really like
awesome.
him a lot. And it's complemented, the offense is complemented really, really well by the rushing attack as well, with John Hamilton and Brady Hopper there as their 2-star running backs. They've had like I said, started off 5-0 this season already with good wins over San Antonio and Johnson. And I know I just mentioned that Smithson Valley isn't what they have been in the past, but that's still a really good win over a program that's historically pretty good. And looking at their schedule, man, I think they're the favorites to win 13-5A Division I district.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think because I remember watching Champaign really start to kind of like make some strides last season, and I really do think obviously they lost Jake South, who was one of the leading receivers across all of San Antonio. I think that South had a really big impact on getting Champaign up to that level, kind of a coach on the field type situation. And he is really, they were
stepped up into that role.
And they were looking for him too, honestly. Right. But no, I think you look at District 13-5A and they should be the favorites there. New Braunfels might have something to say about it. Interesting, which is a very interesting one, that Bernie Champion and New Braunfels are playing on Friday night, and that's one to keep your eye on. That's kind of one of those odd seeding games that could play like huge potential early on in district play.
Yeah. I was going to correct myself on something. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
First year varsity ball in 2022, not 2021.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, 2022. I had 2022 on here, but I said 2021. But yeah, so 3 years of varsity ball.
That balances out you giving yourself a pat on the back earlier.
5A Division 2.
Moving on now to 5A Division 2. It is the number 3 San Antonio Alamo Heights Mules. Never heard of them.
Who's their coach?
I want to say John Ritteman. Is it? No, it's our buddy Ron Ritteman.
Coach Ritteman.
Shout out to Miss Patty Ritteman, who is a women talking football superstar.
And we got to meet Kylie this summer. Her daughter
the
at
daughter
coaching school. That
she
family
rocks.
is amazing.
Yeah, we're big fans of the Rittemans. Not even going to hide it.
Yes.
They are off to an incredible start this year, and let's not beat around the bush. It is Michael Terry III who has just.
Yeah, he's on my players to watch.
I won't talk about him too much.
You can.
He's insane. That's one of those that you
That's a generational talent right there.
You see him on the field and you're like, oh, you're different. Like, you were different. And let's be very clear. It's not just him. They've got a bevy of weapons around him, but he is so stinking fun to watch play football. I mean, and he's a 4-year starter. It's no shock that they have had success starting 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know,
it correlates.
Yeah.
It's a linear. It's linear.
You look at Alamo Heights, and they were always a decent program, but never these runs where they're going undefeated for 12 or 13 games and then they lose late into the playoffs. You see some 7-win seasons, some 8 wins, some 5, some 4. You know, like, you're seeing that kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh man, they got really good. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, when you look at the roster, that makes sense.
Anyway, Heights should, I think, really blow through that district.
Yes.
And then you start looking at Region 3, and I think Corpus Christi Miller is likely their only bump out of Region 3. And then when you get to Region 4, you look at teams, Fort Bend Marshall, Richmond Randall is another one. They're in Region 4, rather. Corpus Christi Miller coming out of Region 4, I think, is their only true competition in Region 4. When you get to Region 3 and what would be potentially a state semifinal, I would say teams like Fort Bend Marshall, Richmond Randall, Liberty Hill, if you will. So it'll be interesting to see. I think they should take care of district play, though.
I think so, too. This is one of my favorite teams in the San Antonio region.
Yeah.
They're just so much fun to watch week in and week out. So I completely agree. Let's head to 4A Division 1, and we've got one ranked team. It's the number 8 San Antonio Davenport Wolves. Another San Antonio program that's in their 3rd season of playing UIL varsity football, and they've had a winning season ever since they first started playing football back in 2022 under Coach J.D. Zimmerhansel.
Zimmerhansel.
I was going to say that's definitely German, isn't it?
Zimmerhansel.
Is that how you say it?
It's Zimmerhansel.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I figured it's
a soft
probably
A
German.
and not a hard A.
Yeah. I like that a lot. But this is also a team that's improved every single year since they've started playing varsity ball. They went 11-4 in 2023 with a run to the state semifinals last year.
That was what, Chaston Golden Was that his name?
Correct.
No,
Chasson Golden.
It was Chasson
that
Golden.
running back. Yep. Which Tepper and I, he's at Trinity right now.
Yeah.
Powerhouse
He's a
Division III
quality dude who rocked.
Yes. Yes.
He
100%
rocked as a Texas high school football. I will never forget. I was on Valley Sports Southwest reading his highlights of one of the games that we didn't think they would win, but they did. That guy popped off for like 6 touchdowns. He was the only person that scored.
Yeah.
I just kept saying it.
Yes, correct. 100% correct. And then, I mean, a large part in their success, they're 5-1 this season. A large part of that, I think, is because they had a lot of returning players on both sides of the ball. Like I mentioned earlier, running back Barrett Fallon leading the offense with 35 total touchdowns last season. And then we've got a leader on defense as well who returned. His name is, I want to say Eric with an A. Singletary with 116 total tackles and 2 interceptions on the season last year. So definitely a lot of experience that came back for this Wolves team. Their only loss this season is to San Antonio Piper, but of course that's punching up a classification and a division, I believe.
State ranked, again, Piper.
Correct. So obviously there's not much to take away from that loss, as in like, oh, they're just not as big, stuff like that. So, and then I want to say that their game against Somerset here in the next couple of weeks is definitely going to be for that district title.
Yeah.
14-4A Division 1.
I would completely agree with that. I would say that Davenport is probably going to be a score to 2-score favorite in that game.
Yeah.
But Somerset hasn't played a very
they have
tough
not.
competition.
They're 5-0.
But they look great. Yeah,
right,
you don't
right.
apologize for 5-0. If you're Somerset, you're not apologizing
Correct.
for 5-0.
Correct.
But yes, I would think that would be the deciding factor there for that district.
Yes, 100%.
All right, moving on to 3A Division 2.
Poth. It's both, but I like to say Poth.
From number 7 Lady to number 3 Poth. Mallory Hartley, ladies and gentlemen.
I know it's Poth, okay?
Yes.
I just
Don't
like
come
to say
yelling
Poth.
at me.
Don't yell at me.
All the pirates simultaneously said, "Arg."
Yarg. Matey.
Out of District 15, 3A Division 2, VNA is just squawking back there.
I like how she turns her mic off.
Yes,
she knows
because
this is like just entertainment for her.
her reaction is always, "What?" I wish y'all could see it. We do have a producer cam.
Yeah, what the heck?
But we don't have power to make that happen is the issue.
I know. I wish there was just a button where I could just be like, on VNA.
Yes.
Put it on VNA.
After making a state championship appearance in 2022, a good 12-2 season last year, losing to Tidehaven in the regional finals, who then obviously went on to play in the state championship. Jeff Luna's squad is cooking with Crisco again. 5-0, 2-0 in district play. They've had some really good wins, including over 3A Division 1 Comanche, which Comanche's a very good 3A Division 1 team. They romped Llano, so that means that they've got to be the best team to ever exist ever.
Naturally.
A great win over Falls City. They've got a win over Shiner, which, yes, I know that's 2A Division 2. Big difference there. Never apologize for a win over Shiner. Karn City, Nixon Smiley. It is same old Poth. Okay? Their defense, outstanding.
Yes, very good.
Absolutely outstanding. The thing that I think makes this team better than last year's team is that offensively they are also incredibly sound. Junior running back Kane Stover will torch you left and right when it comes to the rushing attack. Also able to torch you is quarterback Junior Major Luna. Some names are the same.
Not minor Luna, Major Luna.
Major Luna, exactly. Yeah, he has been.
He's not
Major
doing anything
Luna.
minor. He's doing major things.
Major things, but Poth is going to absolutely not allow you to have any offensive success, and then they'll go. And this offense I have really liked so far. So high on the Pirates.
Yeah, I think you can pretty much pencil them in as the 15 3A Division 2 district favorites there. They've got. How do you say that? Catula? Okay, I figured so. I just didn't want to butcher it because you know how bad at names I am, obviously. If you just watch this show, you know that. But Catula's 4-0, 2-0 in district play. And
Dilly.
then Dilly, but they've got that at the end of the season. But really, I mean, they're favored by 17 points to Catula, who is probably the second ranked team in this district. I think you can pretty much
shore up the district championship this week unless you just
can.
absolutely go out there and put a turd on the ground.
Ladylike.
Welcome to Women Talking Football.
Huh?
There she is.
We need a drop button. I know we've been saying that, but we need a drop button.
It would just be VNA squawking.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
All right, to round out the rankings here, let's close it out with 2A Division II, the number 9 Shiner Comanches. Have you heard of them before?
Name's not ringing a bell.
Yeah, Daniel Bodeker. Does that sound anything?
Yoinks. Yep.
Yeah. This is funny, okay? So they're ranked number 9, right? 2A Division II. You look at their schedule, or you look at their record, and they're 3-3. Big Brock Eagles energy.
Yeah. The certified Brock team.
Brock energy here, and I'll tell you why. They started off this season 0-3 with losses to Hallettsville, which is a 3A Division I team. I actually want to. They lost 15-22, so not a bad loss at all. Rice Consolidated got shut out by Rice Consolidated, which is
Rice Consolidated is a really good football. Also, that's punching up classifications, but
they're a 3A Division II team, so that's punching up a classification and a division. And then Poth.
Yep.
But they lost 14-21 to a 3A Division II state ranked team in Poth.
Number 3. Number 3, and they lost by one score. Punching up an entire classification.
Yes, and they played those teams very tough. So that is why they are still ranked. And of course, they have won their past 3 games. That's why they're 3-3. Vanderbilt Industrial, Luling, and Charlotte, of course, not like as tough of a contenders as they have in their non-district schedule, but still, I mean, they deserve to be number 9. I don't think there's any question about that. They deserve to be state ranked there. Of course, led by Daniel Bodeker in his 6th season there at the helm for Shiner. And I remember being introduced to Shiner back in 2020. 2020 was my first state. When I was introduced by the Brooks brothers, Doug and Dalton Brooks. And I remember seeing them for the first time, and I was like, this is a really, really fun team to watch. And they've just continued on that success from that state championship. Had
Coach
another
Bodeker,
one that next year. Is it Bodeker?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay.
Did you say Bodeker earlier?
I said Bodeker.
Bodeker. Yeah. We also, much to our lovely freelance editor that we have, Adam Bodeker.
And
that's why you think of it.
But yeah, that's where I got that
Coach
from.
Bodeker, he is very good at developing players.
Yes.
He is yes, Doug and Dalton were generational talents, but especially down there in Shiner.
Yes.
But he is also, you look at the rest of the roster, he is very, very good at developing talent.
Yes, I think so too. A lot of returners on both sides of the ball there, and I think the biggest difference between last year and this year is their defense has really stepped up, and that's because a lot of those guys are returning. They returned their leading tackler in Kyle Adamek, who had 85 tackles on the year last season, and then also I guess I forgot to mention they dropped down a division, so they were in 2A Division I last season. Now they're in 2A Division II, and of course that helps. But it's crazy because I think they're a better team than they were last year. And they played the same 3 teams in non-district as last year as they did this season. So Poth, Rice Consolidated, and Hallettsville, and they played all 3 of those teams, all 3 of them much better than they played them last season. Definitely the favorite there to win 15 2A Division II, I'd say. Not really much of a competition there, I don't think.
No.
So
there they are. The ranked teams across the greater San Antonio area. This is Women Talking Football, WTF. We're here live every Wednesday at noon, and this is what we like to do. We like to talk some recruits because that's Mallory Hartley's favorite thing in the entire world. Really it actually is. That wasn't sarcastic.
Are you sure?
No, it really wasn't.
Okay.
I can think of a lot more things that you hate a lot more than talking Curtin, okay?
Yeah, correct. I guess you're true. You're right. All right. Well, let's start off strong here. And okay, funny enough, so we're starting off with the dynamic duo and the wide receivers of Cibolo Steele, of course.
Because you
Jalen
have to.
Cooper and Royal Capel. And we're talking Cibolo Steele for Hutton Russell.
No, today. Nice.
So
solid.
Doubling
Quick
up there
plug.
on Cibolo Steele. So, yeah. But you really you can't talk about one without the other. Both 20-25 guys have been starting for a while on that team, and both just dynamic, big-time splash playmakers there with a ton of speed. Jalen Cooper is just so impressive. Last season, put up major numbers as a junior, 68 receptions for 1,600 yards, 23 touchdowns, averaging 24.5 yards per catch last season, which is
That's an absurd. I mean, that's not one touchdown or first down. That's not 2 first downs. That's literally a first down and a half.
Yeah. Insane athletic ability, can catch in traffic and high point the ball over the top of defenders just to make the play. And he's committed to play for the SMU Ponies up here in Dallas. And then, of course, the other one, Rael Capel, great route runner and good at creating separation from the defender to make those big-time plays. And he's committed to play at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, go Pokes.
Stillwater, go Pokes there. Both obviously are going to make I think, a big impact in the next level. And I'm really excited to see how they do at the next level in those big Division I programs. Moving down to the list. It's the San Antonio Wagner 2025 linebacker Kavion Carter. Just an all-around great defensive player with a nose for the football and has that burst of energy in speed that this team needs. 6'2", 203 pounds. I wouldn't want to have the football and be near this guy.
No.
If I had the football and I saw him running at me, I'd probably give him the football. I would just
here you go, Mr. Sir.
Yeah. Would you like a scoop and score? Or would you like an interception?
I can make
your
both
stats
happen.
more because I don't want the football.
Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared.
But dude has a great read on offenses that he faces and quick to react to the play. He's great in zone coverage, obviously, but he can also act as a corner in man-to-man coverage if you need him to. He's got reps as a pass rusher as well, so he really can do it all on the defense. He's got reps at pretty much all the positions there on the defensive side of the ball, and he's committed to play for the Bobcats of Texas State.
Eat 'em up, Cats.
Eat 'em up, Cats. Moving on down the list. That's what you add.
You guys those quirks are on today. Let me tell y'all.
That was a big allergy sniff that you gave the people there.
Yeah. Did I really?
Yeah. You need to address a public apology for that one.
It's allergy season. You don't let me sleep, because I have so much work to do. So I'm
this is on. I apologize for her sniffles.
Anyways, can I continue?
Yes.
Thank you for apologizing, Pickle.
You're welcome.
Alamo Heights 2025 athlete, Michael Terry III. Michael Terry III. No introduction.
Michael?
A top-rated athlete.
Like Michael Harrison Pilot? That's a blast from the past. Speaking of Temple.
No. Top-rated athlete in the state and brings obviously so much to the table. A true game changer on the offensive side of the ball, like you said earlier. Powers likes him as a wide receiver. When he talked, what?
I ran across a funny tweet. It's nothing to do with you. Go ahead.
This obviously shows how much she listens to when I talk about players.
I was trying to go retweet that we were live.
Okay.
Go.
I'm sad.
1 hour into the show.
Listen to my players.
No, I am. I'm sorry. It popped up.
Okay. Anyways. Powers likes him as a wide receiver, but he could play in different spots on the field. He's good. He's got great route running abilities and has hands to make the big time plays. And a guy that just has a really high ceiling. And he's already done such incredible things at the high school level from being a freshman on varsity. But to see this guy in a college training, under a college training regime, eating the meals that he's supposed to be eating and training as a college athlete, it's only going to get better. And that's really hard to think about right now. He's currently uncommitted. One of the top, I think the only player in the top 100, I think, in the Hot 100 in Powers' list that is uncommitted currently.
Which is fun that there's still someone that's not.
Yeah, right.
It's always sad when those recruiting cycles end.
Exactly. I think
especially with athletes like that.
You're right. I think he likes Texas, but also is considering programs like Nebraska and Oregon there. Definitely one to, if you're looking for fun football, he's one to watch. San Antonio Johnson, 2025 wide receiver, Jaden Perez. You know that saying where you win some, but you also lose some, or you win some, you lose some, right? Elephant in the room. I think we were all kind of concerned with what this offense was going to look like without quarterback Ty Hawkins. If you guys remember, Ty Hawkins was their star quarterback there last year, transferred to IMG Academy in Florida, a dual threat, do-it-all quarterback for this Johnson offense. But here in comes Jaden Perez. He was a wide receiver from San Antonio Brandeis last season, and dude is a beast, a downfield threat, and can be utilized in the short passing game as well with yards after catch ability. He's got the speed to outrun you and the agility to make a man miss. And he's also committed to play at Oklahoma State alongside Royal Capel. So that'll be a fun young wide receiver duo coming out of the San Antonio area, traveling up to Oklahoma to play together at the next level. San Antonio East Central 2025. I have him on here as a linebacker, but also he could be considered as an athlete. I think he's going to play linebacker probably at the next level, but you could consider him as an athlete. When I was doing my research about him, I like to pull up their Twitters because sometimes they put stats on their Twitters or they put fun highlights or something that maybe is not in their huddle accounts or whatever. And the first thing that popped up was a highlight from week 5 from when East Central played Judson, I believe, Converse Judson. And he returned a kickoff all the way back for a score against Judson.
Jeez.
So dude's an athlete. Put him in at running back or flip him to the defensive side of the ball, stick him at linebacker. Obviously succeeds on special teams. He can really do it all. His speed and size are probably what stand out to me the most when I watch his tape. 6'2", 210 pounds. Dude's a freak show with insane athletic ability. When it comes to sheer size, he's just winning that category up against you. I mean, 6'2", 210, that is a big boy. It's tough to bring him down when he's got the ball, and will bring you down when you have the ball. Yeah. So really, really fun two-way player to watch there in San Antonio. Oh, and then he's got offers from Arizona, Boston College, UTSA, and a couple more too. But
that'd be a good get for UTSA if they could keep him at home.
Yeah, definitely. All right, and let's round it all out with Yoakum 2026 athlete Xavier Barnett. And I was telling Powers before this show that he's one of my favorite players in the San Antonio area. I know the Michael Terrys of the world and the Royal Capels, Jalen Coopers, they're
Yoakum
fun.
Some love.
But Xavier Barnett is a dynamic player. Have you seen that meme going around where it's a quarterback, or it's just a meme, and the quarterback says screw it, so and so's down there.
Yeah,
that's literally Xavier Barnett. It's screw it, Xavier Barnett's down there. I'm just gonna yeet it. He's insane, 4-star prospect with just insane athletic ability. He's got great hands. It can make those splash plays when the offense needs that spark. He's very reliable in the passing game when it comes to being a downfield threat or in the screen game and needing a guy with a great run after catch ability, but can also make an impact on the defensive side of the ball as well. And he's got a scoop and score on the season already. So obviously great there for the defense. 6'1", 185 pounds as a junior, so he's got a lot of room to grow there still. And he's got offers from in-state programs like Houston, SMU, UTSA. So I really, really hope that one of those programs can keep him here in the state because he's a fun player to watch. Maybe UTSA, like you said earlier, UTSA can keep him home. But there you go. There's players to watch.
Very nice.